Okay, babies, we're doing more. 10.5 brainstorming. Woohoo! What's the purpose of brainstorming? Okay, I'll tell you an experience with brainstorming with me. I really. Wait, stop. I'm going to tell you an experience. There was a day I was talking to somebody, and I realized as I spoke how my perspective on the subject changed. And I guess it's in that day, that was the day where I realized that expression is key. And the beauty about brainstorming is all of us are looking at one thing and are kind of like having conversations around it, throwing ideas around it, or whatever it is. They'll explain to us technically and scientifically what brainstorming actually is. But the goal behind it is always to hear yourself speak so that you can put what's on your in your mind outside. And when that happens, that changes your relationship with it and it allows you to see a different side of the market. So I always do that with everyone that I'm talking to. Anytime I'm trying to explain something to them or explain something to talk to them about something, I'm always doing that in a way where I'm questioning what I think and how I'm thinking about it so that I end up explaining it better to myself. So let's start brainstorming. What's the purpose? Brainstorming is an excellent way to foster creative thinking about a problem. Yes, because you're kind of like throwing in different angles, right? Every person has an angle. And adds trust because everyone's kind of like with ourselves, so we all kind of like take credit and we all give credit and we all understand. An aim from brainstorming is to produce numerous new ideas and to derive from them themes for future analysis. The description. Brainstorming is a technique intended to produce a broad or diverse set of options. It helps answer specific questions such as, but not limited to, what options are available to resolve the issue at hand, what factors are constraining the group from moving ahead with an approach or option, what could be causing a delay in activity A, what can the group do to solve problem B. What the fuck? All right. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so they're giving you random examples because a brainstorming session could literally be just about everything. It was like, hey guys, tomorrow we're going to. Okay, I just thought of a war narrative. I'm sorry. I'm in a country that's being bombed for the past 3 months and on and off for the past 5, 6, 20 years. 40, 50, actually more. But the idea that what I'm talking about right now is brainstorming. Anything could be a brainstorming session. Like, how can we introduce basically like dance offs in our content? How can we find a better way for users to download our app? How could we what would be a solution to users not signing in or for people to buying our product only once instead of buying it more than once, right? Like, there's a lot of things that you kind of like have to comprehend. I don't know. It's like brainstorming is kind of like in all angles and it doesn't fucking matter. It's just like find people that are willing to listen to you and throw in random shit that pop out of their brain. That's why it's brainstorming, right? Like, if something pops up, throw it out. So brainstorming works by focusing on a topic or a problem and coming up with many possible solutions to it. Okay, this technique is best applied in a group as it draws out the experience and creativity of all members of the group. Exactly, different perspective, different angle. In the absence of a group, one could brainstorm on one's own to start new ideas. I do that all the fucking time, by the way, and I do it in 3 methods. I write, I voice note, and I video. This is me brainstorming with myself. As I'm trying to read, I'm trying to describe something to you. Nothing passive could be considered creative. Creativity is an active process. Chilling is an active process, if you believe me, right? So as long as your intention is towards something, then you're actively doing something about it. In the absence of a group, one could brainstorm on one's own to spark new ideas, to heighten creativity. The participants are encouraged to use new ways of looking at things and freely associate in any direction. Again, freedom and trust is very important. And it's fascinating because one of the things that came to my mind as I was reading this is the fact that, like, the stupidest things, and I call them stupid questions. I think there are 3 kinds of questions. There are, let me find them because I wrote them somewhere. But there are 3 kinds of questions. One question is, Stay with me, don't da 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 da. No, startup lectures. It's not in startup lectures. Come on, man. Wake up, dude. I think it's in the OG docs. So there are three types of questions. There are legendary questions, and legendary questions are the ones which open up your mind to a completely different view on something, right? And so these are questions that kind of happen once every blue moon. And somebody asks you a question and you go like, your brain kind of starts seeing the world differently. There are good questions, acceptable, make sense questions. And good questions are the ones that allow you to explore the concept you are building around, right? And this is something that adds detail to your thought process so you have a better forward reasoning with it. Literally, I'm reading something I wrote, I think a couple of months back or a year back. And then there are stupid questions. Arguably, and it's, I shit you fuck, I don't know, is it showing? It's not showing. Let me try something with you guys. Is that it? All right, maybe it needs to be refreshed, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Can I explore more shit? Let's go for a window. Yeah, I'm trying to get you. Anyways, stupid questions come sporadically. They lead to a micro connection forming across the thoughts and concepts that you're trying to comprehend. They're really something that intuitively feels correct, but then you ask a question about it. And what happens, it kind of like questions that intuition that you had that made sense of it, but rationally you're not able to explain it properly. If I'm not mistaken, I watched a video. It's a systematic kind of thinking. And I forgot what it's called, but there's a kind of thinking. There's a kind of thinking which I think is claim the reason, the implication, no. I forgot what it was. Whatever, I'll find it somewhere. All right, whatever. Whatever, but there's a scientific kind of thinking that kind of like it describes it a certain kind of way. I'm not sure what it was. But anyways, so like, you know, these questions allow you to deepen your understanding by asking a question that makes sense, but for some reason it's still vague. Effectively connecting your instinct to your logic or intuition to your logic, as I was explaining it, your feeling to your abstract mind, because the mind uses language, right? And the front of your mind, the easiest accessible information to the back of the mind, because the back of your mind is kind of like, I think, system 2. And if you've read the book Thinking Fast and Slow, it's basically system 1 thinks fast and system 2 thinks slow. Like system 1 accepts the norm, but system 2 kind of like has to dive deep into it. So asking a stupid question, and why is it stupid? Is it because it's so fucking obvious? But it's because it's obvious, you never gave it more thought. You never created that connection with the obviousness, and that's basically what a system does. Actually, I wrote it down. It's system 1 and system 2 according to Thinking Fast and Slow. It's like amazing. It's just everything I've talked about kind of like is throwing in front of me. But so the beauty behind going back to basically like, you know, to brainstorming, the beauty behind brainstorming is a lot more that people kind of like, you know, they, as much as they are creative in like showing the different sides of things, they are very creative at exposing your blindness. And so it allows you to see the whole thing from a completely different angle. But again, like, you know, it's not that they're showing you a different side of it, but you seeing things from a different side changes how you think about it. We all think logically, right? But like what's different is the way we perceive things, and our logic is based on our perception because it follows what we're able to see and comprehend and interact with, what we're able to observe. Observation is not seeing and looking. Observation is feeling, understanding, hearing, listening, is all that stuff. Observing is encompassing everything, right? So when facilitated properly, brainstorming can be fully engaging and productive. So here are a few figures. Preparation, you define an area of interest, determine a time limit, identify the participants, and establish evaluation criteria. Like, what are we evaluating? The session, you share ideas, record ideas, build on each other's ideas, and elicit as many ideas as possible. The goal is to flood shit, right? And then as we wrap up, we discuss and evaluate, we create a list, we rate the ideas, and we distribute the final list. By doing that, I do that normally with prioritization, because we discuss different kinds of ways for us to approach what we're thinking about, or what we're about to do. And by throwing different ideas, we kind of see the ones that connect together and the ones that kind of like, if you fix one, if you do one, then 3, 4 are opened up, and which allows us like more areas of exploration. Again, we're a startup, so we're always considering these different angles. And what are the elements? The elements are basically preparation. You develop a clear, concise definition of the area of interest. You determine the time limit for the group-generated idea. Are they repeating exactly what we have fucking read over here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Identify the facilitators and participants in the session, like who's the person in charge and who are the people that are kind of throwing shit around. 6 to 8 participants. I'd always go like 5 to 7. I think odd numbers are better than even, especially the prime ones. Set expectations with participants and get their buy-in into the process. Establish the criteria for evaluating and rating the ideas. And within the session, what we do is we share the new ideas without any discussion, criticism, or evaluation. Like, it's very important for people to feel safe, dude. Very important. Visibly record all ideas. Encourage participants to be creative, share exaggerated ideas, and build on the ideas of others. Don't limit the number of ideas, as the goal is to elicit as many possible within the time period. Like, let it flush. There's a teacher basically that teaches art, and the first 3 weeks what he does is he asks for 100+ sketches every day. And the goal is for the artist to kind of like flush out everything he thinks he knows when it comes to their own fucking how they create art. And then after that, their own style kind of like starts sneaking into everything that they're sketching. It's fucking fantastic. So once the time limit is reached, discuss and evaluate the ideas using predetermined evaluation criteria. Like, okay, like because we predetermined the criteria of evaluation, so we get to look at them objectively right now. We create a condensed list of ideas, combine ideas where appropriate, and eliminate duplicates. And then we rate the ideas and then distribute the final list of ideas to the appropriate parties. It makes total fucking sense. Usage considerations, strengths, ability to elicit many ideas in the short period of time, non-judgmental environment. Again, I said that before, right? Look how awesome it is. Enables creative thinking, can be useful during a workshop or reduce tension between participants. Interesting, because when you're doing a workshop, a lot of people kind of like have, in a workshop, people develop their angles of approach. And then with a brainstorming session, they kind of meet in the middle. I love it. Limitations, participation is dependent on individual creativity and willingness to participate. Organization and interpersonal politics may limit overall participation. It's like people are people, right? Like, you will learn a lot from the people you're working with. I'll tell you that. But sometimes you kind of like want them to not necessarily go along, or sometimes who cares? You decide as well. Like, maybe there is, while you're planning the brainstorming session, picking the people is as important as the session itself, because sometimes you kind of need some conflict and sometimes you need like something calm. Group participants must agree to avoid debating ideas raised during brainstorming. Like, very important. If you start debating an idea based on brainstorming, then you will probably bias yourself because you're throwing ideas before research. And ultimately, that's where opinions come up and become judgments, and that's the last thing we want. And here we go. It's another video. Look at that beauty.